Hello, my name is Kerchner. In my presentation at the Degrowth summer school, I tried to give a summary of the biophysical aspects and sources for degrowth, and it was my presentation was in three parts. The first one was on the old debate between Nicolas-Georgescu Roegens and Herman Daly and the steady-state economy, and I showed the different points of view behind thermodynamics and entropy. That's also been the view of covered by Ayres, and I showed the conclusions, which were that most of these criticisms that came out against the steady-state economy concept on the biophysical scale were due to a very strict and technocratic definition of thermodynamics, and that you could have a steady state as a dynamic equilibrium for some time. And I also gave it a definition as the steady-state economy as an unattainable goal. It's something that is worth going for and worth striving for, but you will probably never attain. It's very similar to other ideas and concepts that we follow, like world peace and so on. And this is on the biophysical level. And then I went on straight to the big area of peak oil and resource peaks, which is now the next era of biophysical limits, where we say that even non-renewable resources have a flow limitation. Before it was said that only the renewables have had a flow limitation, but it's also true for non-renewables. And there's a definition which says that for peak oil, that peak oil is the maximum possible level of production per unit of time, given external constraints, which can be even also geopolitics or geologically or economic. And I also gave my short systematization of the concept of peak oil, which is a division between the quantity and the quality side, where at the quality side you have things like the ERO, the energy return on energy invested, which is declining. There's energy systems theory coming in here, with also some criticisms of the degrowth paradigm, saying that when the energy systems, when you try to reduce them, they are very complex, and you will, like in a Jenga tower, you will start pulling out blocks in random places, and the whole the whole economy might collapse. And as a one response to this, or one possible approach, I presented the vulnerability analysis that I do. I think we cannot wait, of course, until we know the system perfectly. This will never happen because they are very complex. But what we can do is we can study the system and also as we go along, and try to see what the policies and the strategies we have for degrowth or a steady-state economy, how they would affect the system, and try to choose the best avenues. One thing that I have done with colleagues is using input-output analysis to look at the structural level of an economy, and which sectors are most vulnerable in the case of peak oil. And then what you get is like a map with those sectors that are most important for the economy, and at the same time it might be very vulnerable in the case of peak oil. And what you do is you could try to restructure your economy to be less reliant on those vulnerable sectors, in order to make the whole economy less vulnerable. And this is basically what I concluded with. Thank you very much.